Smash him up, crack that fool. Quarterback whack, yo, sack that fool. Hit him, 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 hit him. Smash him up, watch that move. Wind too swift, can't catch these dudes. Can't hit him, 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 hit him. Listen, 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 listen. It's Eagles talk, let's talk Eagles. Philly bleed green, it's from your people. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's peep the squad. Big Pat Shelley, Dante the Dark Child. Drop the stats on him, drop the facts on him. Spur King, baby, let's get it on.
Hey fam, it's your man Dante the Dark Knight, and welcome to another edition of Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook that's by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. Big night tonight. They're announcing the NFL schedule tonight. We wanted to come on at 7:30 p.m., but, you know, when dealing with the coronavirus, we're all doing this stuff from at home, so it's a little difficult, more difficult than it is from doing it at the studio when you have a production team behind you. So we make it work as best we can. But big night tonight. They're announcing the NFL schedule, so we can talk about, we're probably not going to do predictions of the whole schedule tonight, but we'll be happy to hear who we play coming up in the 2021 season. And that's what we talk about. But before I know this is a sports show, and I know all that and everything. And excuse me for a moment. As a matter of fact, I'm going to just have to be real. F it. I have to say something about what's going on in society. We have a young man who was shot and killed in Georgia for just jogging down the street. I'm not even going to get into the racial aspects of it. If we just looked at the same color man, you're running down the street and there's a neighbor or neighbors that come and gun you down on just suspicion that you may be guilty of a crime is wrong. When you include the racial aspect into it, it's just ridiculous that this stuff is going on in 2020. If you want to tune out, if you don't want to hear politics, you don't want to hear social justice and all that, then tune out. I don't care. I'll lose all my followers. But this is ridiculous. It's just ridiculous that this is happening in this day and time. Sometimes I look at the news and I see what's happening to people, regardless of race, color, gender, or whatever, and it looks like I'm looking at a 1940 film, but we're living in 2020, and this is happening today. I'm just outraged at what I see going on today. So I got to get on my soapbox. You can tune out if you want to, but this is where I'm at. It's ridiculous. My condolences and my prayers go out to the family of the young man who was gunned down and killed unjustly, and the shooters of this man have not been arrested yet. It's an outrage. Now, with that being said, I'll move on with Eagles Talk. My co-hosts on here, I think you're going to hear them. I don't know, because we've been having technical difficulties, but I'm going to try to put them on here now and see if we can get this thing cleared up. So, boom. Let me see. And there we go. All right, so you guys are now live. What's up? What's up, gang? What's up, gang? Can you hear me? You guys don't even have me on the phone anymore, so you can't hear me. You don't have me on the phone anymore. So, all right, anyway. When they figure out the fact that they're not on the phone, you guys want to call me? You want to call me on the phone? Look, I got to tell them. You want to call me? You're not even hearing me on the phone anymore. All right, so anyway, we have the Eagles schedule coming out, and it's probably out by now because it's 8:20. Oh, here he is. All right, so here they go. All right, can you guys hear me? You have heard none of my rant when I just had a rant about the guy who got shot in Georgia for just jogging. So maybe you can hear me over the phone right now. So I just brought you guys into the show. We're going to go over the schedule. I hope somebody has pulled the schedule up since we've been preparing for the show. Hopefully the schedule is pulled up right now. But I'm going to go to Facebook right now and see what the comments are. You guys have to respond to me via the phone now because you guys can't hear me. I don't know what's going on your end. But guys, thank you for hanging in there if you are still there. And for those who tuned out because of my rant, well then, F you. I just can't help it. But I had to say that. I had to get off on my chest. You know, a justice done to one person is a justice done to all of us. We have to believe that, and we have to, that's what's going to bind us together. I don't care what your race, color, or creed is. If it's an injustice done to one of us, it's an injustice done to all of us. We need to all get behind that person. I don't care if they're black, white, gay, women. I don't care what it is. If it's an injustice, you have to stand for what's right. And this is not right. It's not right. All right. So I don't know if my co-hosts hear me or not, but I'm going to go into the chat room here. What happened? Anthony AIDS is there. What happened? What's bad is everyone blames the white people for any kind of shooting instead of what's right and what's wrong about the situation. What's up, Eagles fans? That's definitely Nicole. Everett says the only race is the human race. Everyone needs to be held accountable. Long list of criminals in power. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Toby Cooper on point. It happened in Brunswick, Georgia. I lived in Middle Georgia. No reason for this. You're right, Eddie. All the facts of this case out. Eddie, you sound a real Republican right now. It's not a political, it's not a bipartisan, it's not a partisan subject. I don't care if the person who got shot was a Republican and the person who shot them was a Republican. Wrong is wrong, and you got to stand for what's right. What I just said is an injustice done to any one of us is an injustice done to all of us. So if that was a Republican jogging out there and two other Republicans came up and wrongfully shot and killed that person, we all need to be standing on the side of what's right. So you're killing me with this partisan talk you're saying. Eddie, amen. Terry, preach. Daphne, Nicole, it's saying all the people that's watching. Leroy is watching. As long as freedom of speech is allowed on every subject, you can say whatever. Facts. Okay, so I don't know. Can my co-host hear me? Hello? I don't hear you guys now. No, we heard you guys all in. Yeah, I mean, I can't hear you on the program now. Hello? Nope, I don't hear you on the program. I heard you before. I don't hear you now. Say something again. No two, no two. They're saying 1 2 1 2, and I'm saying no two, no two. Nope, we don't hear you at all now. I don't know where you guys are now. Let me see. Let me just make sure you're in here. But, okay, maybe this. Let me add you. Boom. Boom. Hello, say something now. Say something now. No, we don't hear you. But you guys can hear me out there. I don't know what's going on with this guy. Couple comments out there. I'm embarrassed for your use right now. The father was a former police officer. Somebody saying, I pray for justice for this young man. Hit the unmute button, gentlemen. I don't know if their unmute button is on or not. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I don't know where my co-hosts are. I don't know why I don't hear you guys. But I don't hear you guys. I heard you guys all pre-show, but I don't hear you guys right now. I don't know where you guys are. We can see you and all that, but we can't hear you. All right, anyway. Anybody, I guess I'm going to have to pull up the stats myself. Anybody out there in the chat room have the schedule? Because the schedule should be out now. It's about 8:26. You right. We need the whole story. Yeah, we do need the whole story. Pat, your mic is live. They said they heard you, Pat. So say something, nigga. Let me hear you. Let me see if I hear you. So say something now, Pat. Let me see if I hear you. I don't hear you. Can you guys hear me? Nope, we don't hear you at all. I don't know where you guys are. I don't know where your sound is. I don't have, I mean, I got you punched up on the board, but I don't hear anything you're saying. Let me see. Yep, I got your mics piped in. I don't hear nothing you're saying. All right, anyway, guys, let me see if I can pull this up. I see it's going 10-6. Jermaine says they see that's going 10-6. The world is crazy, but it's insane. Let me know right quick if you guys hear me. If you hear me, give me a shout out. To be fair, I think Dante the Dark Knight said things correctly. No matter the race and justice need to be held accountable. Yes. I'm going to attempt to pull up. No, we don't hear you at all. I'm going to attempt to pull up the schedule right now if it's out because I don't have my co-host. You may see them on the screen, but you are not hearing them. Let me see. Eagles. I'm going to have to do this. 2020. Oops. 2021 schedule. All right, let me see if I got it. All right, so the rumors were we were opening the season with, is this it? Let me see. You guys help me out. End of the first quarter. Bill Crow says end of the first quarter. We're going to start the first quarter. I was trying to see if I can get these guys on here. But if I can't, I'm going to put them on the back burner right now because we can't hear them. So it's just going to be me in about a minute. Let me see. All right, when I can hear these guys, I'll bring them back on. Hello, can you guys still hear me? Can you still hear me? 1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2. All right, loud and clear. All right, they can hear me. All right, let me see if I can get the schedule up here. So when my co-hosts come back, when I can hear them, I'll bring them up. All right, boom, 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 boom. No, this is not right. Am I right, you guys? 2021 Philadelphia Eagles schedule. I have the first game against the Cowboys. Is that correct? No, that can't be correct. No, I got the wrong thing. Let me go back. If anybody, yeah, everybody can hear me. Okay, all right. Let me see. Where is the schedule? 2021 Eagles schedule. No, I don't see anything. I don't see anything on online. Maybe the program is going on now and they don't have everything out there. I don't know, but I'm gonna try to go back. If anybody knows the first game of the schedule, let me know. We have enough things to talk about until I get a hold of what the first game is versus the Colts. Wow, that's what Pat said. The first game is versus the Colts. Daphne says no, the Redskins. All right, sorry, Washington. All right, okay. Where'd you get that from? What site is that? I'm online and I don't see it yet. But anyway, all right, until I get the schedule up there, let's talk about what's been current in the news today, and that is, or lately, that is the fact that we are interested in Jadeveon Clowney. All right, so Isaac Ware just sent me a picture. Maybe he got the whole thing. Let me see. Boom, boom, boom. Thank Isaac. Isaac is a loyal fan. I appreciate you, Isaac. Hopefully you're sending me a picture of the schedule. All right, so anyway, the talk this week has been we're interested in Jadeveon Clowney. You guys let me know. Do you want Jadeveon Clowney? Look, we have the money for him. I don't think we should get locked up into a long-term deal. That's where it gets tricky at because I would love him for 2 years, but I don't know if I would lock him in for 5 years. See, that's where it gets a little iffy for me. But who wouldn't want Jadeveon Clowney? Now the guy from Jacksonville, I would rather have him. He's younger, and I think he has a little more. I think he has a higher motor, and he's hungrier because he is younger. I don't know if Jadeveon Clowney is that guy that's going to give you 100% all the time. I just don't see it. although we don't like him in Philadelphia because he put Carson Wentz out of the game in our playoff series. But that aside, I think we can get past that if we know we're getting a legitimate 100% all out defensive end, the guy that we assumed that he was going to be when he came into the league. If we're getting that guy, then I'm all in. But I haven't seen that guy in 4 years since he's been in the league or whatever. He's still a talented player. He's above average talent. I get that. But to lock him into big time money for 5 years, that's where it gets a little iffy for me. You guys let me know if you want Jadeveon Clowney. Let me know if that's what you want. But that's what I see. Do I want him now? We have the cap money to bring him in. Yeah, I say sign him, but it'd be very contingent upon what kind of deal we give him. I say don't break the bank on this guy. All right, so Isaac Ware sent me a copy of the schedule. So week 1, we play Washington. Week 2, we play LA Rams. Week 3, we play the Bengals. I'm not going to get into the predictions of the year because I can't hear my co-hosts and all that. So what I'm going to do right now is take a moment out to start this quarter because we are already in and we haven't even had a drink yet. And this is, especially with all the technical difficulty I'm having and with what I just opened the show with, I'm very, very tense right now. So I need something to get me to unwind. So you guys need to know that you're watching Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook. I hear something. Hello? I hear you guys. Say something, guys. They can't hear me. I hear you guys. Say something. All right, check, 1, 2. Say it again. Oh, yeah, I can hear you guys. Let me see if I can get you guys on the screen now. All right, I hear you guys. Let me see if I got you on there. Boom, boom, boom. All right, say something again, guys. All right, I'm gonna do this. All right, anyway, let me pour this drink. So this week, like I said, you're watching Eagles Talk, the #1 coverage show on Eagles coverage show on Facebook by Eagles fans for Eagles fans, and we like to talk about our favorite football team. We like to do so in such a relaxed manner. I apologize, you guys, for keeping you guys on hold for so long and not drinking with you guys, but I'm here now. So we like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we like to do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage. And this week I am continuing in the 1800 Silver Tequila in celebration of Cinco de Mayo, which was Tuesday. And so I'm going to be doing this. I don't know what my co-hosts are going to be doing. I can hear them now in my ear. As soon as they can hear me, I guess I'll put them on the air. But anyway, we're going to do this. We're going to take it down the hatch, start the first quarter. So
you're now listening to the first quarter.
All right, so here we go. 3, 2, 1, down the hatch. All right. All right, so getting back. I just went over the first 3 games. We are going to start with the Redskins. Now, mind you, take this in consideration. Every time the Philadelphia Eagles have won a Super Bowl, we have opened the season against the Washington Redskins. All right, I know that's a little trick statement there because we've only won the Super Bowl one time, and that one time we opened the season against the Redskins, but it's still a good omen. I take that. So every time the Philadelphia Eagles have won the Super Bowl, it has started with us playing the Redskins on opening day, and it continues this year. We start the season against the Washington Redskins, so maybe that's a good omen. Although we only have one Super Bowl, but every time we won the Super Bowl, we played the Washington Redskins on opening day. And it continues this year. So we play the Washington Redskins. So I feel good about that. Although they do have a new head coach and they have revamped the roster, so to speak, I still don't see them being better than us. You know, we know that the parity in football is great. And at any time you can see a last to first type of situation in the NFL which I love about the NFL. I love the parity in the NFL because you're not stuck in a rut. If you can make significant changes in the offseason, you have a very good chance with the way they do the scheduling and first place finish versus last place finish. They try to keep it kind of even. So with that being said, I still don't see the Redskins being better than us in 2021. It remains to be seen. They made some improvements. I don't think their draft was the slam dunk, although they got Chase Young, and he is a prominent defensive end coming into the league, along with they got another defensive end last year. I can't remember his name right now. So I don't know if that defense is going to be better than the offense. Probably so, because they're coming back healthy this year. But even with that being said, I still think we can get a win against the Redskins, and I think it bodes well for us. My co-host, I don't hear anymore, but let me go to the comments right now. And boom. Okay, I got to go back. I got to do this on my phone. Okay, all right, boom. That was a preseason game? Redskins, no Redskins is watching. Hold up. Week one. Lots of 1 p.m. kickoffs, lots of 3 a.m. Monday starts here. Oh, he's in Down Under. That's Tony Barron, our faithful follower from Australia. He said that's going to be a lot of 3 a.m. Monday starts here. So 1 p.m. kickoffs in Australia means that he's going to be watching the game at 3 a.m. on Monday. Wow, that is incredible, man. We appreciate your dedication to the Eagles, man. I mean, we are dedicated Eagles fans too, but who can say that they're that dedicated that they will watch the Eagles at 3 a.m. in the morning? Wow, that's incredible. So Tony, man, that's what's up. Isaac Ware said he'll be my co-host today. Well, Isaac, send me a email address, and I will send you a link. And if you have a camera and all, you will be my co-host, because my co-hosts are MIA right now. I hear them in my ear. They don't hear me. I don't know what's going on, but hey, the show must go on. Daphne Nicole says week 4 to 6 will be a tough stretch. I was looking at, and I don't know if these people who posted this had a schedule in front of them, but I was looking at a post today that said the difficulty of schedule, and we weren't in the top half. We were in the bottom half of difficulty of schedule, meaning our schedule was quite difficult. So let me go back to the picture here and see exactly what our schedule is again. So 4 through 6, you're saying, right? So 4 through 6 is week 4 is against San Fran. That is tough. I agree with you there, Daphne. Week 5 is Pittsburgh. I agree with you there. Although they were missing their starting quarterback. Ben Roethlisberger was out last year. I think Tomlin did his best coaching job last year with what little he had. He almost had them in the playoffs, and that was a credit to him. So I think that'll be a tough game. Week 6 against Baltimore, the Baltimore Ravens, and the reigning MVP of the league, Lamar Jackson. So yes, that's going to be a tough game. And then week 7, Giants. I don't think that'll be too tough, but it is a division game, so maybe it will be. We can't count it as an automatic win. Let's put it that way. And then week 8 against another division rival, against the Dallas Cowboys. So yeah, that is a tough stretch. I agree with you there, Daphne. Week 4, San Fran. Week 5, Pittsburgh. Week 6, Baltimore. And week 7, New York. Week 8, Dallas. So yeah, that's a tough stretch. But after that, we got the Giants again. Who's that? I don't even see. Is that the Browns? I can't tell. Week 11. Tell me if that's the Browns or not. I don't see the signal on their helmet. Week 12 is the Seahawks. Green Bay. We got a tough thing here. After Green Bay, we got the Saints. The Cardinals might be a little let up, and then the Cowboys and the Redskins at the end of the year. This is not a walk it. We got a tough schedule. Let's put it that way. We open against the Redskins. Second week against the Rams. I don't know where they'll be next year. They kind of fell down a little bit, fell down a notch from 2019. The Bengals shouldn't be a problem. San Fran, that's when it starts to get tough. So when we get to San Fran, we got the Steelers, Ravens, Giants, Cowboys, Giants. I don't know if that's the Browns. Let me know if that's the Browns of Week 11. Seahawks, Green Bay, Saints. So let's look at how many playoff teams we got. LA Rams made the playoffs. Bengals didn't. San Fran made the playoffs. Pittsburgh did. Ravens made the playoffs. Cowboys made the playoffs. Seahawks made the playoffs. Green Bay made the playoffs. Saints made the playoffs. Cowboys again made the playoffs, and the Redskins. So we have a lot of playoff teams from the previous year that are on our schedule this year. So you guys let me know what you're thinking here on the difficulty of schedule here. Let me see. Pat and Shell's now they're coming back again. Oh, they dropped, so now they're coming back. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get them back again. Boom, boom. Okay, I see you guys. Let me see if I can get you back in. Do I have to do this all over again? This is what's killing me here. All right, so you guys let me know what you think about that. Okay. All right, say something, Pat. Can you hear me? All right, well then I can hear you through the program, so I'm gonna bring you guys in. So, all right, you have to listen to me through the phone. All right, so can you guys hear me? Say something. Hey, Pat, what's up?
Hey, I can hear you. What's going on, guys? If you can hear me, say hey. I can hear
All
you.
right, they can hear you. They can hear you. All right, let me go to a
All
couple
right.
comments and I'll come back to you. No Redskins. That was a preseason game. Watching to the Banks are watching with you. Dom Lewis, Cowboys didn't make the playoffs last year. Oh yeah, my fault. I'm sorry, Dom. You're right. Cowboys didn't make it. Kung Fu Dante will be okay if healthy. Cowboys didn't make the playoffs. You're right. Everybody's letting me know that Cowboys didn't make the playoffs. All right, so Pat, you have the schedule in front of you. I just went
Yeah,
over a
I got
couple
the schedule in
things.
front of me.
All right, so Daphne Nicole says week 4 through 6 is the toughest part of the schedule, and during that stretch we played. Let me just bring it up again. During that stretch we played. Boom, boom, boom. Cancel. All right, so week 4 we play San Fran, Steelers, Ravens, New York Giants, and the Cowboys. So 4 through 8, she's saying is a tough stretch there. What do you think about that?
Well, that stretch is a tough stretch. From let's see, you said from week 1 to week to the bye week.
Right.
From that week, I look at Washington. They're a much improved team. Being as though they're a much improved team, I could see them being a tougher competitor than they were last year. But we got fast on offense, and all it dictates on what we can do in the off season and training camp. So I say that's a W. Doug Peterson has the antidote to beat the Rams, so I'll put that at a W too. He hasn't lost to Sean McVay since he got there. The Bengals, they're going to a rebuilding.
Okay, so my guys are gone right now. So, hello? 1, 2.
Turn you down quick. Joe Burrow has a nice arm. Now I'm going.
Yeah, you are gone. I can't hear you at all. So, let me see. No, I don't hear you at all. I mean, I hear you in my ear, but I don't hear you on
Here
the
you
phone.
go. You hear us?
Okay, yeah, we hear you now. All right, go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
All right, back to what I was saying before I went off. Joe Burrow has a nice arm. They returned to AJ Green, but he's a year older and he hasn't played for a whole season. So I think that's an opportunity for us to go 3-0. So to be honest with you, right now I got us 3-0 in the first 3 games. Then we go ahead and go to San Fran. San Fran's gonna be a very difficult game. They're coming off the Super Bowl. Even though they lost in the Super Bowl, they were up by 10 points at one point, and they played the best team in the league, which is just the Chiefs. I believe we have an opportunity to go ahead and beat them. In the end, it all dictates on what Carson Wentz is able to do with his new weapons. I actually have us as a loss with that game. With
Blasphemy.
Pittsburgh coming in, uh, they're still in a rebuilding thing there. Even though Ben Roethlisberger will be coming back as quarterback, uh, we do have the upper hand against Pittsburgh, but for some reason somehow we always lose to them in some form fashion. And I believe that might actually happen. I think this might be a back-to-back loss week where we go 3-2, and we're looking at our record. To be realistically, going to Baltimore, and what's going to happen in Baltimore is that we're going to try to step our game up because we always step our game up when it comes to these big-time games. These guys are going to play their heart out. They're going to go out there, and I believe we're going to actually surprise everybody and beat the Ravens.
All right, these guys are gone again. All right, hey, everybody.
Right before the bye week, this is going to be pivotal for us because at this point we'll be 5-2. So we need to win this game to stay ahead of the division. If not, just like last year, Dallas is going to be ahead in the division. All you're going to hear about is Dallas this, Dallas that. I think we want to whip up on these guys and be 6-2 by the bye week.
All right, 6-2 by the bye week. I really don't want to do a prediction show right now. I just want to go over the schedule and talk about the difficulty of the difficulty of the schedule, or how difficult the schedule is. I think.
Can you hear us? Are we back?
I hear you guys. You can't hear me. I hear you guys. So
go ahead, Show.
All right. Of course, Washington. I see the first game. We blowing them out. Chase Young, even though Chase Young is going to have a pretty good game, we're still going to put a lot more points on the board. The Rams is a no-brainer. We're going to win that game. Cincinnati, a blowout. San Francisco, that could be a toss-up. I say if the defense comes to play, we win that game. But if we're in a position where we're chasing points, we could lose. So I'm going to say we lose that game. We come back upset, play the Steelers. We beat them. We played a Baltimore in a hard-fought game. Our defense comes up with a last-minute turnover. We win that game.
Again,
and then we play the Giants.
Get into
on Thursday night.
Difficulty.
Of course, we blow them out.
I don't want to get into predictions this week. This is not prediction week. I just want to take a look at the schedule. I don't want to get into predictions of the schedule.
Okay, and then.
All right, so these guys are cutting in and out. I'm sorry about that, guys. I'll try to keep them on the air as much as possible, but they're cutting in and out.
We understand.
All right,
we understand. The show must go on.
The show must go on, man. I gotta keep myself ready because you guys are cutting in and out sometimes. So let me just be ready. Let me be ready for when they cut out. Like now, they're out. All right, so again, difficulty of schedule, man, is going to be key to this season here, and it's not going to be an easy one. Hopefully, our new additions are going to propel us to a successful season. We look at the season that we won the Super Bowl 13-3. This is a much tougher schedule. You know what? I need to pull up our schedule from 2017 because this schedule right here seems to be a little more difficult than it was in 2017. First of all, nobody expected us to do what we did in 2017, which was go 13-3. And now that we have a Super Bowl under our belt, this schedule is definitely tougher. It might be even tougher than last year's schedule. I think we're more improved than we were last year, but this is a tough schedule here. I'm not gonna, difficulty of schedule here. Like I said, we're not in the bottom half of difficulty of schedule. We're in the top half. So this is a difficult schedule for us. And Daphne said that stretch from 4 to 8 was tough for us. But if you look at it, I counted off the playoff teams that we have to face. and we're talking about the Rams. What did the Rams make the playoffs? I think the Rams made the playoffs. Did they make the playoffs? You guys remind me. 49ers did. The Steelers did not, I don't think. The Ravens did. The Cowboys did not. That is the Browns. We do face the Browns. The Seahawks did. The Packers did. The Saints did. And that's it. So we have some heavy hitters coming up in 2020. Let me see how many primetime games we have. Well, first, let me end this quarter first. Let me end this quarter, and we're going to end this quarter. But let's start the second quarter. Let's start the second quarter here. So you guys are watching the Eagles Talk, where we talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we like to do so in such a relaxed manner that we do it, while we enjoy our favorite adult beverage. And this week I am partaking in the 1800 tequila. My co-hosts, I don't know what they're partaking in because they're here and then they're not here. So I don't know what they're talking about. But anyway, you guys let me know what you're drinking out there. We're going to start this second quarter.
You're now listening to the second quarter.
All right. So we're in the second quarter. I'm going to do this. Everybody join me as we toast our Philadelphia Eagles and hopefully the successful upcoming season this year, where we face a tough schedule, but I think we have enough tools to be able to be successful. So here we go. Down the hatch. 3, 2, 1. All right, so let me go to some comments out here. I don't know where my co-hosts are again. I like to come to you guys, but I hate to bring you guys a shabby production. And that's what's going on right now. It's an echo on the mic. All right. Let me see. Let me go out of here because I got to get some current comments here. All right, let me bring that up. Okay, so Shell got us some cognac liquor. All right, so they're commenting in the chat room, but they are not being heard on the air. Sue said, today on ESPN, easiest schedule in the league. No, we don't have the elite. No, that's not true. I don't care what they said. We don't have the easiest schedule in the league this year. No, that's not. Audio and video are a few seconds apart with you, Dante, like Kung Fu. All right, like a Kung Fu movie. I don't know what that's about either. One. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Okay, was last year's schedule tough? Well, according to our record, it was tough. That's what Toby said. Isaac, where I feel a lot better knowing our secondary should be better. I do feel better about that because I like what we have in the secondary as far as players, and I like the coaching we have in the secondary as far as Manuel. Oh, well, whoever it is, our secondary coach, I like him, and I think he's going to bring a better technique to our secondary, and that bodes well for players like Darius Slay, who comes in and is excellent at man-to-man press coverage. So a secondary coach like him who teaches an aggressive technique would bode well for him. I still stand by my bold prediction of 2021 of Sidney Jones finally showing his talent and why we picked him in the second round. I think he's going to have a breakout year this year. So, and me, if he does have it, I will remind you guys. I'll bring the tape up and let you guys know. Gilbert says, y'all more effed up than a bucket of worms. Your technical cat must be sauced. Yeah, we're having a tough time, and I hate to do this. I hate to bring you guys a subpar quality program. I'd rather not come on than have the glitches that we're having tonight. So I apologize deeply. Dom, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. We showed up on Dom's podcast last week. He had a Zoom call with a lot of different podcast hosts, And I thank you for doing that, Dom. That was such a wonderful experience. And invite us anytime. We'll come through. Dom says, I thought this year was moving to a 17-game schedule. What happened? I don't know. No, I don't think this year was the 17-game schedule. I think this year was the playoff change was happening this year, where there's only one bye team per conference this week. That's what's going to happen. They're going to add an extra team this week. That's what's going to happen this year. I don't think the 17-game schedule will come up until the following year or the year after that. But what will be immediate, it will be the addition or the subtraction of a bye team, because there was usually 2 bye teams on each conference, and they're going to eliminate that. There's only going to be 1 bye team per conference and an additional team added to the playoffs. So that's what's going to happen this year. Patrick says, we definitely have a better secondary this year, which should help with most of these passing teams. Julia says she's drinking wine and Blue Moon. That's a good combination. Daphne Nicole is watching. Crown Royal. Richard says Crown Royal, chasing it with beer. Yeah, I like that beer chaser, because I'm chasing the 1800 with Stella. Palatero says the schedule is tough. I believe that. Wayne Anthony Thompson said, what's up, Dante Dark Knight? What's up, Wayne? Thanks for tuning in. Tony Barron from Down Under says 10-6 should be enough to take the division. I have faith in the annual Cowgirls choke. And I do too. But let me say this, and I know you guys are not going to like me for this, but I think they had a great draft. I really do think they had a great draft. Now, that doesn't mean anything when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, because they can have talented players, which I think they had a more talented roster than we had last year, but they still come up short. So that's what you have to worry about with Dallas. I think they had a better draft than what we had on paper so far. I mean, CeeDee Lamb is nothing to sneeze at. Their Trayvon Diggs in second rounds, nothing to be sneezed at. But whether that can translate into more wins is where it gets murky for the Dallas Cowboys. So although I think they did a great job during the draft, I don't know if that's going to translate into them elevating their team to the playoffs. I don't know. It remains to be seen. We know, well, I can probably point to the coaching staff last year as a main reason why they didn't do that, but they have a whole new coaching staff, so we don't know what McCarthy and his staff is going to do, and if he's going to get the most out of these guys coming into next season, because he has a very talented roster. If we look at it, we might edge them just a little bit if you look at position by position, which I did with Corey Robinson, and we may just barely edge them, but they have a very talented roster. So hopefully, I don't think they're quarterback. I think we have the better quarterback. So I think it's going to come down to the intangibles, which is coaching and whether their skilled players can elevate their game and come through in clutch moments. And I don't have any confidence in that. All right. Palatero says the schedule is tough. Seattle, Ravens, 49ers. I see that. Wayne says I see 11-5 with the schedule. Palatero says Havana Cruz, rum from Cuba. He's drinking the rum from Cuba. Sue says only tough games, 49ers, Ravens, and Seahawks. I fail to disagree with that, Sue, because we face the Saints. You don't think the Saints are a formidable team? I don't know. Are you taking shots with me, Sue? You must be drinking the 1800 too. If you don't think the Saints are going to be a tough game, because they are going to be a tough game. We need Clowney or Yannick. I would take Yannick, but Clowney is the one that's available. We can sign him. Yannick, we're going to have to give up somebody to get him. Bill Crow says pass rush will make secondary a lot better looking. Yes, pass rush will make a lot of people a lot better looking. Palatero says stay home order for Philadelphia. That's funny that you say that, because I was going to try to go see, I live in Delaware now. I was going to try to go see my mother in Philadelphia this Sunday, but because of the pandemic, I talked to my mom, and she suggested, and we also suggested, that maybe it wouldn't be a wise thing for us to come up there. With this thing, and there's a lot of different opinions about the pandemic going on, and I want, as much as everybody else for everything to open up and get back to normal. But we can't look past the fact that people are dying out here. And the funny thing about it is, this is a deadly virus that's going on, and something else that adds a twist to the whole thing is that you can be perfectly normal, perfectly symptom-free, and be carrying the virus. That's very, very scary. Like, I can have the virus. I don't have any symptoms. I feel great. I'm able to drink my Stella with you guys in 1800, but I may be positive for coronavirus. And if I go around someone, although it's not showing up in me with any symptoms, I can pass it on to someone and they could die. So after sitting down with the family, we decided we're not going to go see the parents. We're just going to stay home and do a virtual visit with them over the thing. And I hope that everybody takes the same precaution. I know as much as you guys, and this is the season, like I said last week, this is the season where it makes it most tough for us to follow the stay-at-home orders, because the weather is starting to break for those of us that live in the Northeast. The weather is starting to break, and it's hard to tell somebody to stay in the house when it's 80 degrees outside. So that's very tough, and it's tough for me also. But I have to take precaution over enjoyment. So we're going to practice precaution, and we're going to stay and do a virtual visit with our mothers from home instead of going up there and subjecting them to the risk of catching COVID-19, because our parents are elderly. My parents are 77 years old, so I don't want to put them at risk by going and visiting them. As much as I want to see them, I don't want to kill them. You know what I'm saying? So Wayne says they had a better draft, but drafts don't always division titles. I agree with that. Sue says Dalton is quarterback. Quarterbacks don't sign. Isaac Ware says Dallas still don't have a quarterback until he signs a new contract or tag. Myra Bennett says Hennessy and Heineken. Wow, that's a hell of a combination right there. Terry Traham says we got to steal with Wallace from Clemson. I love Wallace. I love Wallace from Clemson. Straight out of Richmond, Virginia, and was under the tutelage of Brian Dawkins and Troy Vincent. Yeah, I saw that this week in the article. Wayne says Dallas love Bengals quarterbacks on their teams. Sue, you're not drinking the 1800. She's drinking the Peach Crown. All right, Palatero saying they say there's going to be a winter storm in May. Wow, I hope that's not the case, because I just so badly want the winter or the summer season to come upon us. Don't get me wrong, I want to get back to normal, but I'm not suffering as much by sitting home right now, especially with the weather changing, because my backyard oasis is coming together, and this is the time of year where I really get to enjoy it. So I just need good weather. And I'll be okay. But I would love for everything to get back to normal so people can go to the beaches, and maybe even me go to the beach every once in a while and enjoy that aspect. But if they had a stay-home order throughout the summer, I'd be a little disappointed, but not too disappointed, because I can go out to my backyard oasis and enjoy myself. But everybody, please be safe out there. Ed says blueberry corn all day. Blueberry corn, wow. He's drinking that blueberry water. You guys, if you guys don't know what corn is, you guys don't know what good stuff is. All right, Joe Guns is watching with us. What's up, Joe? Peace to you. All right, I don't have any co-hosts today because of the technical difficulties. I'm just happy that you guys are able to hear me. But I'm going to end this second quarter without having the second quarter drop and begin this third quarter. So, everybody, you are watching Eagles Talk. Thank you for tuning in amidst our technical difficulties. If you see our signage or label for today's show, it says draft review, which is not up to date. We're looking at the new season schedule that just came out. I'll change it later after I come off the air. So don't be confused by draft review. We're not doing that. We're previewing the schedule that just dropped, and next week we'll probably have our predictions after we had a chance to digest the schedule that came out, because we're seeing it for the first time, just like you guys are seeing it for the first time. So next week, in the week time, we'll do our homework, and we'll get together and really think about how many games out of the 16 games we can win. So I'm not saying like Sue that it's an easy schedule, because I don't believe it's an easy schedule, especially with what we went through last year, which I did think it was an easy schedule, but it turned out not to be. We were finished 9-7, which was a miracle, and Wentz made a lot of things happen with very little talent at at his skill position. You know what I mean? He made a lot of things happen without top-notch wide receivers and all. And I'm looking for a continuation of the same. I'm looking for him to make a lot. And hopefully we have some gems there. Rager is there. Hightower's there. We have speed now on the outside at the wide receiver position. And hopefully these guys are make the team. And if they do, that proves that Howie had a successful draft. We are all, I don't know if we're all, but I'm still am disappointed with the second round draft pick of Jalen Hurts, but I reserve the right, like I said last week, I reserve the right. If he pans out, I will eat crow. I will eat crow. I don't care. I will eat crow, because if he pans out to be a dynamite pick, then that means my Philadelphia Eagles are better. And that's all it's about for me. As a fan, I'm going to give you my honest opinion, but I'm also going, I don't have any problem with walking it back and saying I was wrong, Howie was right. Howie was right. Jalen Hurts is the bomb. I had it out with Corey Robinson in a couple Eagles groups about the pick, and he was trying to go off on us naysayers who said Jalen Hurts was a bad pick. And I stood my ground and said, I don't have anything against Jalen Hurts. I think he's a top-notch quality person. He has overcome a lot. He was in Alabama. He was the starting quarterback. He lost his job in the national championship game to Tua. He rebounded. He left. He went to Oklahoma. Still had a very successful season. All kudos goes out to him. He accomplished his dream of being drafted into the NFL. I just don't agree with the team that he was drafted to. That's all it is. I just wish we had made a better selection, or a selection that would pay dividends a little more quickly than I presume Jalen Hurts is going to produce results. I think he's going to be a developmental quarterback. I don't think he's the best passer in the league. I think he's a great athlete, but I don't think he's the best passer. There's a lot of folks out there saying that if anybody can make a 2-quarterback system work, is Doug Peterson, and they put him up there in high regard with other top-notch quarterbacks like Bill Belichick and I forget the other quarterback, Sean Payton maybe, that can make a 2-quarterback system work. So that's kind of positive, but I'd rather have a more legitimate weapon for Carson than a backup quarterback. And that's just me. Again, I reserve the right to walk back my opinions and say that Jalen Hurts and Howie Roseman and Doug Peterson were geniuses, and while I was thinking checkers in my head, they were playing chess. I would love that to happen. But with every draft pick you have a hope for them to be successful. And the hope for him to be successful means that our starting quarterback is not so successful unless you make the 2-quarterback system work. So in order for a quarterback to be successful, he has to get in and he has to start or he has to play. So in order for that to happen for Jalen Hurts, Carson Wentz has to either play horribly or be hurt. And I don't wish for any of that. I think Carson Wentz is the better quarterback. So that's my apprehension. Let me see. I'm breaking up, Toby says. Toby says I'm breaking up. Jalen Hurts is not coming to Philly to ride the bench. That's what Kunta says. I think Andy Wild will have the better draft selection from 4 to 7 round. It wasn't Howie, or was it Howie? All right. I apologize, you guys, for the technical difficulties. Echoes, and that's the end of the quarter. Okay, so let's make that the end of the quarter. We're going to make that the end of the quarter. All right, so all right, what do we have? We had the third quarter already? Did we have the third quarter already? You guys let me know. I have to look at you guys. I am very, very behind technical wise because of the difficulty we're having. I'm glad. I'm just happy that you can hear me, whether I'm breaking up or not. I'm glad that you guys can hear me. Daggone. My co-host has been trying to get on for a while. Okay, guys, I hear you guys. Can you hear me? All right, so they can't hear me. All right, so they can't hear me. I can see them, but they can't hear me. Okay, Everett says, if Howie would have traded for OBJ, I can hear you. Okay, all right. If Howie would have traded for OBJ, man, I would have been hyped for the season. That's what Isaac Ware says. They can work in Jalen Hurts as additional trick plays. Jacqueline Brady says, I'm so pumped for the season. Kunta says, you sound clear. Okay, I'm glad I sound clear. I see my co-host, but I still can't hear him, so I'm not going to bring him on. I think Palatero says, I think Andy Wilk, who had the better draft selection from 4th to 7th round. It wasn't Howie, or was it Howie? He's saying it was Howie. All right. Palatero also says bringing Cam Newton as backup to get rid of Nate Sudfeld. I don't know, man. In actuality, for real, if you ask my honest opinion, I think Nate Sudfeld would have gotten us to the next round of the playoffs. You know, I love the guy. I love that they signed the guy, and he was a more experienced player. He's skipping my memory at the moment. But I think if they would have dressed Nate Sudfeld in that playoff game, I think we would have made it to the next round because he's more athletic and he had a possibility of making more things happen. So I wanted to see him. I think that was a bad mistake for them not dressing him in the playoffs. But even with that, and I've said this before, you guys, some people that are Jalen Hurts fans say that we have a great backup quarterback. But in all reality, do you think that Jalen Hurts throughout this year is going to be a viable backup? If Carson Wentz goes down in week 6, you want to bring Jalen Hurts in. You think he's going to be ready as a rookie to come in and lead this team to where we have to go. The last time Carson Wentz went down, and we had significant progression after his injury was with Foles. Foles was not a rookie. He was a 6-7 year veteran. I don't think Jalen Hurts is ready in his rookie season if Carson Wentz goes down in the 5th or 6th game to be able to lead this team further than Nick Foles. I don't see it. I hope myself to walk back my comments, but he's not been the best passer when he was in college, and to think that he can come in and lead this team, no. Nate Sudfeld is still going to be the better backup on this team, at least for this year. If I see significant improvement with Jalen Hurts throughout the year, I'll change my mind. But right now, coming into this league, I'm sorry, man. This just my opinion. Just my opinion. All right, so, McCown. I'm sorry, that's his name, McCown. Sue says, I think Saints had a terrible draft. Breeze got to carry them. Wayne says, why everybody hating on Sudfeld? I'm not hating on Sudfeld. I like I just said, I think Sudfeld would have been a better choice to go to in the playoffs than McCown. McCown would have won if he didn't pull his hamstring. Yeah, but at 40 years old, that's what happens. You pull your hamstring. Believe me, I know. All right. Sue says won't be ready this year. Everett says Jalen Hurts is compared to Russell Wilson. Wentz will be traded or back up in 2 years. Jalen Hurts compared to Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was a way better passer coming into the league than Jalen Hurts was. And at this point in his career, he's a way, the gap is so wide between Jalen Hurts' passing ability and Russell Wilson's passing ability. You know, that would be the great hope that that Jalen Hurts' passing ability or playing a skill ability will equal somebody like a Russell Wilson. I don't see it right now. They are not equal coming out of college. Palatero says the best thing Eagles did this offseason was to upgrade Doug coaching staff. I hope they also upgrade the medical staff. I like that comment. I hope they did. They did upgrade his offensive staff, and hopefully these guys, this brain trust of offensive minds, can come together and mesh to produce a powerful offense. I'm okay with not naming one person the offense coordinator, but bringing a brain trust. As long as these guys can get in the coaching room and get in the playbook and design some plays that are successful for this team. Above that, once they design the plays, I'm more interested in watching who is the play caller, and who can actually get that rhythm in play calling, because we all know it's all about play calling and getting that rhythm and calling the right plays at the right time. So during our Super Bowl season, we had the Colts coach. It's skipping my mind after two shots, but we had the Colts coach as our offensive coordinator, and him and Doug were able to get together and orchestrate a rhythm in play calling, and it was very successful in us winning the Super Bowl. So with this brain trust that they put together this year with young minds, older minds, Marty Morningwig in the room and the such, hopefully they can all come together and we can have the great combination that we had in 2017 when we won the Super Bowl. I'm riding with Sudfeld. That's what Daphne says. Russell Wilson started for the Seahawks rookie year. That's what Everett says. We have a whole new wide receiver core. This is my co-host Patrick is in the chat room. We focused on speed, and I believe Alshon will start the season on PUP. I believe that too, Pat. JJ may get traded if he doesn't show and improve. Quez Watkins and John Hightower will push this coaching staff to make decisions which will include cutting and releasing some vets. Yeah, I just watched a highlight thing on Quez Watkins, and he is a fast guy. I just say watch him. That's all I'm saying. Wayne says Suggs was injured during the season and has only played one game. Give him a chance to prove himself. Sue said might let Sudfeld go and bring McCown in. I think that'd be a mistake, especially as a player. I wouldn't mind bringing McCown in as a coach, but as a player, I think we lose something if we bring him as a player. We still need a better backup at quarterback. You say that, Palatero, but I have confidence in Nate Sudfeld. He's been here for a while. He's not a bum. I believe. I trust me when I say this. I don't see him as being a bum. I see him as just needing an opportunity. Don't get me wrong. You never wish for your backup quarterback to get the opportunity that he actually needs to be successful, because we have so much invested in Wentz. So I hope Wentz just stays healthy. But I hope Nate Sudfeld has the confidence of coaches to be able to come in, because I think he's more talented than other people give him credit for. Patrick Sandler says Nate Sudfeld may not be here at the start of the season. Isaac Ware, I hope the rookies will push some vets and make some tough decisions. All right, okay. I'm going to end this quarter. Please, guys, help me out here. I'm kind of drunk. I ain't going to hold you. I'm kind of drunk. So I think we're on the third quarter or the fourth quarter. Are we on the third quarter or the fourth quarter? All right, we're on the third quarter. So let me start this third quarter. You are watching Eagles Talk, the number one Eagles coverage show on Facebook by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. We like to talk about our favorite football team, which is the Philadelphia Eagles, and we like to do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. So this week I'm doing the 1800 Silver. You guys have let me know what you're drinking now. Oh, Patrick said we're on the fourth quarter. Okay, so I'll go to the fourth quarter. That's even better. All right, I'll go to the fourth quarter. So we're on the fourth quarter. So, or Everett says we're on the 3.5 quarter. All right, anyway, we're going to start the fourth quarter here. I'm doing the 1800 Silver. You guys have let me know what you're drinking, but continue to let me know what you're drinking in this fourth quarter. So I don't know what my co-hosts are drinking. Nope. Actually, I do, because Patrick said let me know. He's been drinking the cognac, and I'm going to let me know what cognac you're drinking, Pat. But everybody else, let me know what you're drinking out there. So here we go. I got it queued up, Everybody, let's take this shot to our Philadelphia Eagles. The 2020 season schedule is out. Our difficulty of schedule is kind of difficult, but I think we'll make it through. Everybody, raise your glass to the Philadelphia Eagles here. Here we are.
You're now listening to the fourth quarter.
We're just tossing a coin. Are you kidding me, Kunta? I've been drinking. All right, okay. Everett said the undefeated healthy Eagles season Kool-Aid. That's what he's drinking. Sue says all comments about these receivers say the that are Aggie 2.0. No. We are hoping that we have no Nelson Aguilars on this team anymore. Although, truth be told, I think Aggie is going to be okay. I think mentally or psychologically, it was a tough time for him here in Philadelphia. He had his best season under year 2 under what's my man's name? He was the offensive coordinator last year that got fired. But when he was the wide receivers coach, he had a lot of success with the wide receivers here. And Aggie had his best season under him as a wide receiver coach instead of a offensive coordinator. So I think it is I think it's important. I think position coaches grow, yeah. Mike Groh. And Mike Groh has had success with being a wide receiver coach as being a wide receiver coach prior to his time in Philadelphia. With the Rams, with the Bears. He had some very, very successful seasons with wide receivers during his time as a wide receiver coach. I think it just was a mistake. I don't think he was ready to be promoted to an offensive coordinator. But as a wide receiver coach, he's produced some great wide receiver wide receiver seasons under him. So Aggie had his best season under Mike Groh, and he may, if he has a good wide receiver coach out there in Oakland or Las Vegas, he may have another successful season. It remains to be seen. But I think our wide receiver coach here has been highly touted, and he might have the same impact that Mike Groh had when he was a wide receiver coach. Now, outside of Mike Groh, I don't think any receivers coach under Doug Peterson has been very successful, and their firing has been warranted, so I'm okay with that. But I think this guy coming in can do some Mike Groh-like things with the wide receiver group, and we need that because we just brought in like 3 or 4 wide receivers, 3 wide receivers through the draft, and maybe a couple more in undrafted free agent signings. So hopefully he'll have that type of success. I'm wishing for all the wide receivers that we drafted to be successful. I'm wishing that this wide receiver coach does an excellent job with a J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, because as you saw in the news this past week, Arcega-Whiteside said he was confused as to what position he was playing week to week. That's not good. That tells me that coaching is not as strong as we need them to be when your wide receivers, not only is it not as strong as you need them to be on a couple levels here. Number one, if the wide receiver himself is saying that he was confused as to what position he was playing week to week, that's not great. Number two, for him to have the confidence to go and voice that to the press, that's not good either. So the combination of that is not good. We need to clean that up. You don't want a wide receiver walking out there, number one, a rookie wide receiver walking out there and not knowing what he's supposed to do. That's number one. Number two, if you don't have the relationship with this rookie wide receiver where he understands that you don't go to the press and voice something like that, that's not a good thing either. So we need to tighten that thing up come this upcoming season. These are the little things that make things work. One of the biggest things that made us successful in 2017 was that our locker room was tight. They were tight. and we are missing some of the leaders like Malcolm Jenkins. We're missing them, but one thing above all was that this locker room was together. They were tight. Everybody had everybody's back, and you just don't voice that if you are a tight-knit team. Even if you don't understand, I would first go to my coaching staff and voice that to them before I go to the press and let them know that I didn't know what the hell was going on. So that concerns me a little bit. Let me go to a couple comments here. Not with the cap hit. Everett says, once Marty is gone, I like to see Deuce Staley be an offensive coordinator. Kunta says, Quez ball for Southern Miss can fly and has anti-Aguilar hands. I watched a lot of his highlights just yesterday, and I'm impressed with him. But in the highlights that I was watching with Quez, they ran a lot of screens with him. And I don't know if he's going to get as many screens or whether those screens are going to be as successful. I was impressed with some of his downfield catches, but they were just the highlights I've seen. There were a ton of screens thrown to him, and I would like to see more catches of him downfield because I think that's where he'll be used most in our offense. So I was a little disappointed to see so many screens, but I was impressed to see that he made some contested catches down the field. So I'm looking for him to step up. I got high hopes for him. Isaac Ware says, as long as I see some creativity on offense this year, the speed will take care of the rest. Sue says, can someone teach Peterson how to call plays? Arthega Whitesides. Kunta says, Arthega Whitesides needs a GPS. Wayne says, Whitesides better be careful. He could get cut like Hollins. Isaac Ware on Instagram. Rager posted a picture of him studying tape. That's good. Toby Cooper says, is it true? Shelman Sanders says, Deuce. He's always been a big Deuce fan. And Palatero says, three-headed monster, Quez Watkins and John Hightower, and running back Adrian Killing. I watched some highlights of Adrian Killing too. He's a beast. I hope he can translate what he did in college to the pro level. We did re-sign Corey Clemens. Let me give a shout out. It's late in the program, and I should have been giving this shout out. But let me give a shout out to Corey Clemens coming back, re-signing with the Philadelphia Eagles. He's a hometown kid. I grew up with his father, so I'm a little biased in that. But I won't fail to call Corey out when he's not doing the job. I think that he's just been injured the past 2 seasons, and he's not been healthy enough to duplicate what he did in the Super Bowl year. But let's not get it twisted. In that Super Bowl year, he was a major part of that Super Bowl win. Not only during the regular season, but if it was not for Nick Foles and we still won the Super Bowl, Corey Clement could have very well been the MVP of that Super Bowl. He was right behind Nick Foles as the most productive person in that Super Bowl. In that Super Bowl, he was the second most productive person in that Super Bowl. And if it had not been the performance of Nick Foles and probably that catch that he made on the Philly special, if he had not made that catch, Corey Clements might have been the MVP of the Super Bowl. So I give him a lot of credit for that, but he has not been as healthy as that Super Bowl since then. So hopefully he comes into this season as healthy as he was in the Super Bowl, and he returns to form, and they have the same confidence that they had in him when we won the Super Bowl, because that's a part of why I think he fell off too. I think that, I don't know what happened. I'm not in the locker room, but it seems as though the coaching staff didn't have the same confidence in him as they had in him in his rookie year. So hopefully, Corey, I'm wishing the best for you. Steve, my friend, Hollywood, his father, I'm wishing the best for you guys as a family, that he comes back and he makes good on this 1-year deal, because this is basically a prove-it deal here. So I hope he takes advantage of the opportunity that he gets, humbles himself, goes in there, works hard, and duplicates what he did in the Super Bowl year. Guys, it's been an hour. I know we had a lot of technical difficulties here. I've not been able to bring my co-hosts on. I thank you guys for hanging in there with me this hour here as I get drunk with you guys. And I started to come out. I know I started the show with a rant on social injustice and all that, and it pushed aside another project I had going, but I'm going to save that announcement until next week. I'm just so happy that you guys gave me an opportunity to come before you guys. I'm sorry I didn't see Corey Robinson. I meant to send him a text out there because I wanted to go back and forth with him, and not in a malicious way. I think Corey Robinson is very, very educated. I think he's very knowledgeable, as are all Eagles fans. I think Eagles fans are very knowledgeable in their team and the players and all that, and I respect him for that. But we had a little back and forth with the Jalen Hurts, and I would have loved to see him and just go a little back and forth. Not saying I want to debate him or beat him or anything like that, but I just wanted him to come and tell his side of the story for Jalen Hurts and his passion for why he loves him and all that. And again, I don't have anything against Jalen Hurts personally. I think he's a great guy. I root for him as a person, and accomplishing his goals of making it to the NFL. And I hope that he succeeds in the NFL. But really, if he succeeds in the NFL on my team, that means that my starting quarterback is not doing too well. So that's where I'm a little, it's a little up in the air there. But Corey, man, I don't know if you're going to watch this or not, but I respect you. I hope to see you next week. I'll probably reach out to you. I meant to reach out to you this week so you can come in and we can go have a little back and forth, but we can't have it this week. I'm drunk. I'm tipsy. I got to get out of here. Again, man, thank you guys for tuning in again. And going back to the injustice, the social injustice that was done to the young man in Georgia, it's a travesty. It's a shame. We all need to be outraged, not just black people. Everybody needs to be outraged. Like I said, an injustice done to one is an injustice done to us all. I don't care if he was black, white, Republican, Democrat. If there was a Republican jogging down the street and two other Republicans came and shot him under false pretense or false accusation, everybody should be outraged. And I'm outraged now because I'm seeing things unfold in 2020 that looks like the footage from 1950. And we should be so far past that. I'm outraged that this young man lost his life, that his mother lost her son, man. And me being older and having a young man, I fear for my young man's life. I fear for my son's life. You mean to tell me my son is not going to be able to jog because somebody thinks that they mistaken him for, just because the color of skin, they mistaken him for a robber and they may shoot him? And then on top of that, these guys are still free today. They're still free. Nobody has arrested them. With the video footage, nobody has arrested them. I'm going to end it right there. I'm just going to end it right there. Look, man, peace and love to all of you guys. Thanks for following us. We'll be back next Thursday. Hopefully we'll have all the kinks worked out. Thank you for tuning in to Eagles Talk. I'm Dante the Dark Knight. I'll see you guys next week, man. Next week. Peace.
We go live in 5, 4, 3, 2. Smash him up, crack that fool. Quarterback whack, yo, sack that fool. Hit him, 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 hit him. Smash him up, watch that move. Went too swift, can't catch these dudes. Hit him, 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 hit him. Listen. It's Eagles Talk. Let's talk Eagles. Philly bleed green is from your people. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's beat the squad. Big Pat shelling.